Good afternoon and welcome to Boston Asian Radio and TV English Daily News Today. I am your host, Lei. Here's a look at the top stories making headlines today. U.S. to end COVID vaccination requirements on May 11 for foreign travelers, federal workers. Cambridge expands program that gives $500 a month to low-income families. Midtown Atlanta shooting. 1 dead, 4 injured. Suspect in custody, charged. Wrongfully convicted Massachusetts man gets $13 million settlement. Sun-like star swallowed entire planet, MIT and Harvard astronomers say. U.S. to end COVID vaccination requirements on May 11 for foreign travelers, federal workers. The United States will end its COVID-19 vaccination requirements for international travelers and federal workers on May 11, when the coronavirus public health emergency ends, the White House said on Monday. In February, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to lift the requirement that most foreign air travelers be vaccinated against COVID-19, one of the few remaining pandemic travel restrictions still in place. The Biden administration last June dropped its requirement that people arriving in the U.S. by air must test negative for COVID, but kept in place Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) vaccination requirements for most foreign travelers. The Health and Human Services Department said it will start the process to end vaccination requirements for Head Start educators and government-certified healthcare facilities. Cambridge expands program that gives $500 a month to low-income families. Cambridge officials announced Tuesday that the city would widely expand a program that provides $500 monthly payments to families in need. The city is dedicating $22 million to fund Rise Up Cambridge, which began as a lottery-based pilot program in 2021 and now will be available to thousands of households. Applications will start being accepted on June 1, and eligible families will receive payments for 18 months. To be eligible, applicants must be Cambridge residents who make less than 250% of the federal poverty line for their household size. Applicants must also have a child at or under 21 living at home. There are no citizenship or legal immigration requirements. However, households are not eligible for the program if an adult living there is attending full-time graduate school, pursuing a full-time professional degree, or is a PhD candidate. Midtown Atlanta shooting. 1 dead, 4 injured. Suspect in custody, charged. A man accused of shooting and killing 1 woman and wounding 4 others at a hospital in Atlanta on Wednesday was arrested following an hours-long manhunt, police said. Dean Patterson, 24, was taken into custody at a condominium complex in nearby Cobb County without incident, officials said at a Wednesday night news conference. Around midday, Patterson went inside the Northside Hospital medical facility and began shooting, police said. The suspect had become agitated while waiting for an appointment when he pulled out a handgun and opened fire. An undercover officer, who later spotted and confronted the suspect, called for backup and the arrest was made. 3 wounded victims were in critical condition and the 4th in stable condition as of Wednesday evening. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention identified the deceased woman as Amy Street Pierre, an employee of theirs. Wrongfully convicted Massachusetts man gets $13 million settlement. A Massachusetts man who spent years in prison after he was wrongfully convicted of setting a fire that killed 8 people will receive $13 million from the city where he was arrested. Victor Rosario and his attorneys announced the $13 million settlement with Lowell over his 1983 unjust conviction outside the John Joseph Moakley Federal Courthouse in Boston on Wednesday afternoon. Rosario was exonerated in 2017 after 32 years in prison. Rosario's attorneys said he helped Lowell residents trapped in a burning apartment building in November 1982. Arson and murder charges followed. Fire killed 8 persons, including 5 children. He received 8 concurrent life sentences. The lawsuit claims police and fire investigators lied to solve a high-profile tragedy. They allege that Rosario and 2 others threw a blazing Molotov cocktail into the building, despite no evidence of incendiary device or fire accelerant. Sun-like star swallowed entire planet, MIT and Harvard astronomers say. A team from MIT, Harvard University, Caltech, and other universities revealed Wednesday in Nature that they spotted a Jupiter-sized planet, spinning near to a dying star 1,000 times its size until it was absorbed into its core. Scientists claim the star got bigger and more than 100 times brighter in 10 days, faded, and then returned to normal as if it had digested the planet. The innovative observation illuminates Earth's final bow. Astronomers predict that Earth's sun will run out of fuel, inflate, and swallow its nearest neighbors billions of years from now. Our rising sun will likely roast Earth before this catastrophe, rendering it uninhabitable for humans. It's somewhat poetic in that all of that we see around us, all the stuff that we've built around us, This will all be burned in a flash when the sun decides to evolve and become puffy in 5 billion years, said MIT postdoctoral student Kishali Day. Stay tuned for more updates on Boston news as it develops.